It's the Memphis Sports Network, WMC Memphis, WMFS HD2 Bartlett Memphis, WMFS FM and HD1 Bartlett, WMFS Memphis, ESPN 790 AM and 92.9 FM ESPN.
Watch the sunrise, new day's dawning, and it's calling you and me, where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We've got woodlands, fields, and water. Hey, there is no better way. You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Make some time. Take the family, ask a friend, but don't delay. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Good Saturday morning and welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as Dennis Fuller brings us in.
Are you Larry Ray?
No, sir. No.
Okay.
No.
And we're not outdoors yet.
No, we're going.
Yeah,
As
you're
soon as
going.
this
You're
is
headed.
over, I'm not.
No, you're not swatting. No, you're not swatting mosquitoes yet either.
No, I'm not swatting mosquitoes. When I'm swatting Gene Smith, we're going to give. We're going to give today's medal to Gene Smith. He's been here an hour and he's had 12 cough drops.
Yeah.
You know, and over there he's sitting on an ice pack.
Yeah.
You know, he is a real trooper.
He's got more eucalyptus in him than a koala bear.
I can smell it from here. I thought it was him, you know, but of course,
Lysol.
He's taking Lysol over there. Of course, we're all going to be sick Monday, but that's okay.
No.
He's going to be better than Greg Ratliff
I'll
is
be in
over
Arizona.
here.
I'll be in Arizona Monday. I can't be sick.
Oh, I forgot. That's right. You're going to be in Arizona. Golly. And Greg Ratliff is sitting here with his Alabama shirt on. I think he's got a shirt for every winning team. You know, he just picks them out like that, you know. So
I thought he was doing laundry detergent over.
Well, it looks like an Arkansas A, but it's a little bit different.
Okay.
Hey, we're going to talk today, as we said, is opening day for the black powder, muzzleloader, whatever you want to call it, season in Tennessee.
We call it muzzleloader because there's all kinds of substitute black powders out there.
And that's true. My muzzleloader is not a primitive weapon.
No, you don't use that word.
No,
either.
we don't use that word here because I'm ready. Dave has taken care of me. He's got my muzzleloader in prime condition.
That's right. If you miss, don't blame me.
And he's got me all set up. Who best to talk to on this Saturday morning than Daniel Stansfield? He is the Region 1 Big Game and Fur Bear Coordinator. Is that close enough?
That's close enough.
That's close
That'll
enough.
work.
That, as I said before, he can't get that on a shirt. You know, so you don't see this his title there. Good morning, Daniel.
Morning, how are y'all?
Hey, man, we can't wait to talk a little deer here with us. And Dave has been talking about. We mentioned the youth season last weekend. I saw some really nice pictures. I don't know, the weather was kind of cold and goofy a little bit, but
Yeah.
What did you hear from last weekend?
Well, I tell you what, it's kind of neat with everybody's talking about the social media now, Facebook. But I'm like you, Larry. I saw a lot of really good deer killed by some of the young sportsmen out there. So it was pretty entertaining to look at.
Well, I saw some old timers with these young people were out there enjoying it. I think that's one of the things.
Absolutely,
that's a part of to see granddad or dad or what uncle or a neighbor. They're happier than the kid with the deer. And I know, Gene, you will know that. You've seen that.
Oh, yeah. I used to love to go to Shelby Forest.
Well, we had it at Shelby Forest, and we'd see those
great.
kids come in, and do that. But So was it good? Was it?
Yeah, it was really good. Like I said, the weather, the weather got cool, and that cold spell came in, and the deer started moving. A lot of the kids I was talking to and their parents, were saying the bucks were starting to chase the does a little bit. So it's getting that time of year. But I went back Monday morning and looked at the data and the harvest results, and across the state there was a little over 6,100 deer harvested on the young sportsman hunt for 2 days.
My goodness.
Yeah, that's a lot of deer. And actually, Shelby County was really good. Shelby had, I think, 26 antlered deer or antlered males and 25 antlered females. So,
out of Shelby
51
County.
Deer right there. Yep.
51 deer, and when I first started this a half a century ago, I would say, wow, that's a pretty good total for the season. Back in those days, and you see these kids doing it. So, and I've heard talking. We're going to talk a little bit later with my good friend Scott Stengel of my deer processor a little bit. The archery season was hot. I mean, it's still going on. I know you can still archery, but the same time, I don't know where that stands as far as, and I never can figure it out. But the archery season. What have you heard about it?
It was a little slower. I mean, there were still plenty of deer harvested, but the thing about it, unless you're just diehard archery, or guys that want to get out with crossbow, just go ahead and get in the woods early.
Yeah.
I mean, most people are waiting until it's cooler. They don't want to go sit in shorts and a t-shirt.
That's right.
Have a battery-powered fan keeping the mosquitoes off of them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Your thermocell was well used during those times. Because I went out a couple times just to watch deer.
Yeah.
And I've got floaters in my eye, and I kept thinking there were mosquitoes going by me. As I would see these things. But so this kicks us off. I know the hunting guide's out. Everything's rolling as far as that. But the muzzleloading season.
Cranks up this morning. I'm on my way over to run by some processors.
Okay.
And, anybody that's out there is lucky enough to successful to harvest a deer, I highly recommend them take them to a processor or a check station there where we've got some TWRA personnel at, because if you see a lot of our trucks out today, what we're doing is we're collecting the lymph nodes out of the deer.
Oh.
And we're aging them, getting biological data, doing some of our CWD monitoring. So stop by and let us take a look at that deer you harvested.
The lymph nodes out of their what?
Out of the deer, the lymph nodes.
I thought we just pulled the jaw out and looked how many teeth and counted them back there.
No.
We've come a long way, hadn't we? I mean,
we have.
But this is important, and as Bill Cox has told us, won't you mention CWD sometime? I think we've done that for the last month.
Yeah.
But this is another important day for you guys to also, I don't mind mentioning it again, chronic wasting disease. I wrote about it, but this is also a chance for you guys to check what's coming in.
That's right. We'll be out here today. We've got agency personnel scattered all over the state, pulling these samples. We'll be out today on opener muzzleloader, and then we'll also be out on November the 18th, the opening Saturday of the rifle season. We'll be out in full force that day as well.
And Dave, you mentioned check-in. Let's talk a little.
Yeah, there was, talking to Daniel this week and everything. We had a little problem. Like I said earlier in the show, people calling in and say, hey, I'm having trouble checking in online, especially on their smartphones and stuff. And I think what it was due, like I said, to the operating system I had. When we updated the app a couple of weeks ago, if you had an iPhone operating system, it automatically updated.
Yeah.
And if you had some other type operating system with another type phone, you had to uninstall the app and reinstall it to make it work. So, and speaking of that, what's the percentage you see now, Daniel, with people checking deer in on their smartphone?
Yeah.
We kept up with it the first few years, and it was pretty interesting. It went from, I think the first year 30-40% on up to the second year 70-80%, and I haven't looked at it in the last few months, but I'd be safe to say it's running 80-90% probably that are being checked in.
Well, that's something I never thought I'd see either when it comes down to that. And then of course we still have that antlerless deer with the bump on the head. I mean, that's folks. That rule is still in effect, right, Daniel?
Right. It is.
Yeah. Well, too bad.
Visible bone. It's
A
gonna
visible bone.
It's going to be an antlered deer.
You have better be prepared to make sure that what you're shooting is what you are shooting, and not something else that may pop up when you get down there and find out that this is one of your bucks.
Yeah, that's right.
Because we got a 2-buck limit again.
Yeah.
And it's for does it's unlimited.
And I'm going to throw something at you. People talk about the 2-buck limit.
You can
and
throw
everything.
something anytime too.
I wish I had $2.
But Daniel can probably back me up that when they look at the stats and the data, 70% of all deer hunters,
70%
of everybody in Tennessee that deer hunts, will go to the woods. They kill one deer and they never go back. So theoretically, we have a 1-buck limit in Tennessee.
Well, why in the world is that? You think they've got the meat they want?
The pressure's off of them.
Yeah.
I got my deer.
Well, that's true. I mean, I can understand that when I was first starting. I was happy to that one deer.
I put it this way. You have people that want to kill the antlered deer, and you got people like me. I hadn't killed an antlered deer in probably
I had neither.
2 decades.
No, I had neither.
I put them on the ground to eat.
I get 3 does. I get my 3 does, and that's it. I've got plenty of meat. But this year, this may be the year. I finally said after all these years that it's time for me. I've killed 2 big deer in my life, and one of them was at Ames Plantation, which I have mounted, and it's about a 130. I went to one of those TWRA scoring things, and they put me between a 180 and a 160, and my 130 looked like, where'd this thing show up?
Yeah.
Puny.
So, puny is the word for it.
But to you, it was a quality deer.
It was a
Yes,
quality.
it was.
And Daniel, we got a couple of minutes. Quality deer is in the eyes of the beholder, right?
Absolutely.
So, is there a big one out there? Everybody said that Wilson County deer, golly, that was killed, the record deer over there.
The Tucker buck is
the Tucker buck,
Yeah.
over there.
And it was killed during muzzleloading season.
Yes, it was. And so we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary. Your thoughts on that?
On the deer that
Do
was
we have a
killed?
deer that big in West Tennessee?
Yeah, we've got some really good deer, and it's kind of interesting. Everybody talks about buck limits. They want to argue we need 1, we need 3, we need 2, and we don't have the big quality deer that are out there. But I'm gonna be honest with you, we've done Titterbury's gotten out and done thermal studies, and when we're looking at buck doe ratios, there's some monsters out there.
There's some monsters,
really
aren't
big,
they?
There is. They're out there. I've seen them. We've seen them. It's just the amount of pressure, that hunters here in Tennessee put on them. These deer get smart.
Yeah, and I think there's some landowners now that say, hey, we don't want to kill that 4 or that 6, and they're waiting for that 10, and then and they'll pass away before they get it. So
yeah. Well, with landowners passing on them, one of the things I've seen, Larry, is with trail cameras.
That's
landowners monitoring their property.
Yeah.
They know what's out there before they go hunting, so they already have seen that. That young 8-pointer, that small 6-pointer.
Yeah.
So they're said, I'm gonna let that go 1 more year. So they've got a better inventory of what's on their land.
And that's a whole nother show. Those trail cameras are amazing now. What? I've seen some trail cameras that say, well, there goes a cougar. So we might get in. Daniel, thank you, buddy. We'll talk.
All right, thank y'all. Y'all have a good day.
Have a great day. All right, let's take a break. That was good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I like to talk to Daniel. Yeah, he's on top of it.
He's sharp.
Yeah, he's sharp, and I'm
He
dull.
is. He's
I'm
sharp.
dull. Let's take a break.
I'm old.
No,
You're ancient. I'm old.
let's don't get into that. We got to talk.
Brother Darrell,
We got one more segment, then it's breakfast time.
he's been thought.
All right, let's get out of here. We'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Get us out of here, Greg Ratliff.
You can find